Hello everyone, this is Juliana Michaels and I'm so happy to have you join me. In this video, I'm going to be going over the Sizzix scoring board and trimmer tool and showing you the basics of how to use it to create a set of holiday paper crafting projects, including a card, envelope, tag, gift box, banner, and rosette. For all the details on the finished projects, make sure to click the link in the description box below to visit my blog. This is a new tool from Sizzix, and as you can see, it is designed to do both cutting and scoring and create a variety of projects that is kind of an all-in-one tool to make boxes, envelopes, cards, banners, rosettes, bags. So just kind of does a little bit of all the things. And I really love that this one tool can replace a drawer full of other tools that I have that do all of these things separately. So I just want to share with you how this tool works. So I'm going to get it out of the box now and show you kind of what comes inside the box with it. So in the box you have the board, of course, and you also have an instruction booklet that goes over how to do a lot of the tags and cards and things like that. There's instructions for everything. And then the other thing that is really important is the envelope matrix table, and this is in inches on one side and centimeters on the other. So this tool is made to be used by everyone, which I think is wonderful that they took that into consideration, and it's very easy to transition the tool to inches and centimeters depending on what your needs are. So this tool as well is available on the Sizzix website. There's a QR code and the website link are available in the instruction booklet. So you just can scan that. And so if you were to lose this, you could get it from their website and print it out and have a replacement. All right, so to the board. I'm just gonna kind of rotate it here so I can get it all on the screen. So on the right-hand side of the board is the cutting tool, and it just rotates back and forth, and then this just slides up and down for the cutting. There is measurements along the top here to help with cutting. And if you're going to do scoring, this arm you lift up here and rotate the board so that you can score. This also can be used to help with the envelopes, and there is a mark here at the top to let you know that this needs to be slid out to the side when you're doing envelopes, and then you're going to rotate this arm based on whatever the measurements and settings are. And on the inside here there are measurements that show the different angles. So you would, put that on to 45 degrees or whatever your measurements are that you need for your project. So that just goes right back in there and then slides over. The other thing that comes with this is a bone folder tool, so you can use that for the scoring. And then last but not least are these different punches along the top edge here. This one is to use with the envelopes. It will take out kind of the extra space in there when you do the scoring, and I'll be showing you how that works. This is a circle punch that can be used for tags or whatever you might need with for a circle punch or a hole punch. And this will do the corners, either a rounded or a flat edge corner for the envelopes. And I will be showing you how all of those work as well. One last thing I wanted to share, I mentioned about it being able to switch from inches to centimeters. So I'll be working in inches, but at the bottom on the board here, it says inches. And all you have to do is just slide this board out and flip it over and slide it back in to make it into centimeters. And then on that side, it has the centimeters. And then both sides of the board have measurements on them. So this is the centimeter side, and then on the inches side as well. So I also wanted to go over how to replace the blade, because the blade on this can be replaced if it gets dull. And so all you have to do is go down to the end of the rail that the blade is on, and there's a little clip here that you just pull on and pop this up. Then this can slide off, and all you have to do then is pull this off and replace it with a new one. It comes with an extra blade in the box. So you get 2 of them to get you started. And then to put it back in place, you just slide it back on the bottom and then pop that down into place. Okay, so for the projects I'm going to be working on today, I'm going to be using the Merry Pattern Paper collection from Scrapbook.com, and it's got loads of absolutely adorable Christmas papers that are in some really cute pinks and reds and mint colors. It's just adorable. First up, I'm going to go over with you about creating a card that is going to be 3 by 4 inches. So all you have to do is line up the paper here with the 4 inches. So that means it's going to be 4 inches wide here. And then we'll just slide the trimmer along there. And now we have a piece of paper that is 6 inches wide, and we're going to score that. And to do that, we're going to pull up on this button and then just rotate that around and pull out the scoring tool. And then we're going to line this up along the end here. And there are numbers across the top here that you use to help determine where to score the paper. So the depending on what side you want on the outside of the paper, you're going to put that side facing you, and then you're going to score the paper in half, and then you fold away from the score, and then you can just use the end there to give yourself a nice crisp fold. All right, so then the next thing we're going to do is to make an envelope for this card. This is where we're going to use that envelope matrix to help us figure out how to, what size we need to cut this paper. So I'm going to move the trimmer out of the way for a second here. And what you'll do is you're going to take that card and you're going to line it up in the bottom corner of this template table. And you're going to use, so there's the top corner opposite this corner, and you're going to take the measurement that's inside that box that's just behind that corner, and you're going to use those measurements to help determine what size paper to cut. And for this particular card, it is 3 by 4 inches, and you are going to want to cut the paper. The bold numbers are what you cut it to. That's 5 7/8 inches. And then the number at the bottom below that in the lighter print is what you're going to use when you're lining things up on the scoreboard. So if you don't have this printed, all you would have to do is look online and see 4 inches, 3 inches, and then go up to where they meet, and then that box is the box that you're going to use for your measurements. I'm going to use a piece of plain pattern paper to make the envelope, because I think that'll work better if you're going to mail it. And we're going to go back to those measurements that are 5 7/8 by 6 and then the 6 5/8. So the 5 7/8 is the square that we're going to cut. So I'm going to get that measured here. So 5 7/8. Well, now we're going to put this into the envelope mode. So we're going to slide it out and rotate it until it clicks into the 45 degrees. And now we're going to take that other measurement, that's 6 5/8, and that's where we're going to line up the end of this paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to use a bone folder here to score the paper. And you're going to rotate that 90 degrees, and you're going to line up where you just scored the paper with this align marking, and then you're going to score down from that. You're going to rotate it again and repeat that. So line this up and score. One more time. Line that up. And score. So now you have all of the score lines in the paper. And the next step from here is we're going to use the punches to remove that excess paper that's in here. So this will fold up nicely. And to do that, this little tool has some markers on there, and all you have to do is just slide this in and line those up with the paper. So, and then just punch it, and it will take out that little notch just perfectly. So you can see, we'll rotate that around and do that on all four sides. And then if you want to make this rounded, all you have to do then is slide this into that end and punch down to round the corner of the envelope. And you can do that on all of the edges if you like. And then from there, all we're going to do is just fold up cards. You can use your fingers, or you can use that tool to help create nice, smooth creases. And there you go. There's your little envelope, and then the card that we made will fit right in there just perfectly. So here are the instructions for making a box, and they give you some just some different size boxes. They have the imperial, which is inches, and metric, which is in the centimeters, and they show you there what size paper you need to create the boxes based on whatever size box you need. So I'm going to just be doing this small box since I'm working with a smaller piece of paper, but you know, a little 2 by 2 by 2 box sounds super cute. So the box is 6 by 6, and the lid is 4 1/16 by 4 1/16. And then it gives you the measurements on where you're going to score those. The box is at 2 inches and the lid is at 1 inch. So this is the paper I'm going to use for the box base. So I'm going to cut it now to 6 by 6 inches. So it's already 6 inches wide. And so we just need to line it up and cut 6 inches the other way. So we have that. So for the box lid, that needs to be 4 1/16 by 4 1/16. So we're gonna get that lined up. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the scoring. So we're gonna rotate our tool over for the scoring, and we're gonna take the base paper, the box part, and again go back to our instructions, and this you're going to score at 2 inches all the way around. So you just rotate it, score. And score. And so there is the box. But to make it so that we can fold it, we're going to slide this out to the envelope position and then rotate this 45 degrees. You're going to then line this tip up here with the score line, and you're going to score down from that just to the end where that line comes together from where you scored for the box. And we're just going to rotate that around and repeat that scoring on all 4 sides. To create the box then, all you have to do is fold that in out of our way. You can use your little folder to crease everything nicely. And then where we did that, you're gonna fold that, and then each one of those we fold it in and create our little box. So, and all you have to do is just put some adhesive on there, and that becomes your box. For the lid, we're going to score that now. So let's get this back over into position for scoring. And the score for the lid needs to be at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And for this, you can do the same thing to fold it. Just gonna slide this back out to the envelope mode, put it at 45 degrees, and then line this up with the score line and score down into the center of each corner. We are. Okay. I'll fold that up. And then again, we have the little corners, just fold those in. And there we have the lid for our box, and you just have to put some adhesive on there to put that together. And here's a look at the assembled box. Isn't this just adorable? Let's move on to making a tag. So, here's these leftover papers. I can just think we could make a cute little tag to even just put on the onto the box that we made. So you can just take a piece of paper for the tag, and you can just measure what size you want the tag to be. So let's just say, all right, so now let's make a tag. And what I'm going to do is just make a little small one that we can kind of use with our, maybe even with our gift. And they've got marks in here that, if you look closely, you can see them. And I'm going to make this tag 2 inches wide. So I'm going to line that up on the edge there, trim off the excess. And I'm going to leave this 6 inches for now and then just kind of see. So now we're going to cut the sides of the tag. And so I'm going to rotate this around, and then you just want to make sure that you when you cut this, you kind of get to pick, you know, what kind of a corner you want here. So, you know, if you want more or less, you just go up and down. So the only thing you want to make sure you don't do is cut past the center mark. So you could mark that on here with a little pencil if you like. And then you want to line up the end of it with somewhere on here, and just remember what that number was. It doesn't matter what it is, but just whatever you want it to be for the corners. And you can just trim that off, and you're going to flip it over, line the bottom of it back up again with that same mark, and cut off the other side. And there's your tag shape. So to finish off the tag, all you have to do then is flip the board around and place it inside the hole puncher. So for the hole punch, it's got inches on the left and centimeters on the right. And all you have to do is just line up the center. So this tag is 2 inches wide. So we know we want to line the edge of it up here with 1 inch to get the center of this 2-inch tag. And then we just push down to create our little hole. So there you go. And then of course you can make this tag whatever length you want, and you know, just cutting that off in the trimmer. All right, so another fun thing we can make on this is a rosette, which I thought would be kind of fun. So I don't want to make a big one. So I'm going to cut this paper down to maybe, let's do 1.5 inches. And lined up. Whatever. And then what we're going to do, probably going to need 2 of these to make it full. All right, now we're going to score this, and we're just going to once again use this little score, and I'm going to go with every 1/4 inch, so every 2 spots here. And then we'll just repeat that for the other part. But basically with this, all we're going to do is fold this back and forth along those score lines to create our rosette. So we'll glue at least several of those together to make a little rosette. Okay, so now I have all of the scoring done, and I have it folded, and I have the 2 pieces just adhered together, and then I've put a little adhesive on the ends here. I'm just going to overlap those and adhere the rosette together. And to get it into the rosette shape, punch it down. And then you can use, like, hot glue is my adhesive of choice for this sort of thing. And then put a circle punch over the top of this to hold it all together. So here's a look at the finished rosette. I die cut some cardstock using these circle dies from Scrapbook.com and used that to help hold it together on the back, and then attached one to the front just to add a nice finished touch to the center. Final thing I'm going to make is a little banner, and I'm just going to use some other patterns and some of the scrap papers that I had from earlier. And the main thing you need to do is just decide how tall you want your banner to be, and then go from there. So I'm going to go with a 3-inch tall banner. So I'm going to cut all my papers so that they're 3 inches. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the scoring tool and you're going to rotate it to 30 degrees. And we're going to use this to help determine where to cut. So you just go until it pops in. And then you're going to line up this corner to the center of the trimming line. You're going to trim that off. And then all you're going to do is just rotate that. Oops. There we go. And line up the inside there. So you're just lining it up on the inside there. And you just keep repeating that until you get to the end of your paper. So then once you have all your pieces cut, you're going to flip the board around, and we're going to use the little hole punch again to create the holes. And I'm just kind of lining up the edge of my paper with the end of the edge of the punch. There we go. And then just string your ribbon through there and you're ready to go. Here's a look at the completed projects I made using the card, envelope, tag, box, banner, and rosette that I shared with you in this video. To see more images of these projects, and if you're interested in how I added the finishing touches to them, you can find a full tutorial over on my blog, and you can find the link in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed learning a bit more about how to use the Sizzix scoring board and trimmer tool for your next paper crafting project.